Hello friends, my name is Shayla and today I'm here to talk about 4 of my favorite romance reads of the year. As you guys know, I read a ton of romance throughout the year, but these 4 are 4 books that I tend to think about a lot. So that's why they've made this video. In future, I will probably pick more than that, but these are just the top 4 that stood out the most to me. They're from, I think most of them... I've got 2 Avons, a Berkeley, and a Forever Romance. So these are ones that all came out this year and have just made me think a lot. So that's why they've made this list. So first up, probably won't be surprised if you were on my channel this summer, and that is Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. After reading Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey, I did go and venture through a lot of her backlog. There's some fun ones in there, but she definitely has a type as she writes. So if you don't like that more alpha male kind of guy, you're not going to enjoy her writing. But in Fix Her Up, we follow Georgie, who is a party planner, and she works as a professional clown most of the time, but she owns her own, she wants to make her own party planning business. And so she works with kids a lot, and it's fantastic. And then we also have Travis here, who is a retired baseball player who doesn't really know what to do with his life. And he really just fantastically gives up in a lot of ways. And Georgie's the one to pull him out of it and get him busy. And Georgie wants to be taken seriously. Travis needs to look like he's settling down and not a player. So they fake date. And it's that fake dating trope. It's fantastic. I absolutely adored this particular Tessa Bailey and would recommend checking out this one. And if you don't like this one, you're not going to like any of her others. But just know she does tend to go that alpha male route. And to me, Travis does call Georgie baby a little more than I particularly like. But in general, I really liked this. It's dirty, filthy, smutty, so definitely be prepared for that. If that's not your thing, definitely steer clear of most of my recommendations in this video. But I ended up really enjoying this one. Next up, we have The Right Swipe by Alicia Rai. Now, this is one I just started dabbling in Alicia Rai this year, but this was my favorite of what I've read from her this year. In this one, we follow a woman named Rhiannon, who is a business mogul, as you could say. She created a dating app where people kind of just say exactly what they're looking for, whether it's like a hookup or a relationship or whatever, and it's thriving. And she's looking to merge with a, finding people forever kind of dating website. And in doing so, she runs into somebody she had hooked up with. They had really connected and wanted to see each other again, but he ghosted her unintentionally. And so they get reacquainted. They start talking. He is a former football player or current football player. I want to say former. He's like recently retired. And it deals a lot with the concussive discussion that's going on within the football community. And these are obviously people of color and different races. So this was nice and diverse for me. I tend to just not intentionally seek out diversity, but I always enjoy learning about the different views on life as I read them. So I do plan on seeking out a little more of that in 2020. But this one was fantastic, and I just loved both of these people so very much. Samson, the guy, is a total cinnamon roll. I absolutely adore him. I would totally have dated him if he were a real person and I wasn't happily married. But yes, these 2 have fantastic chemistry, and it deals with how women are treated in the workplace. It deals with a lot of big topics in the best way. So I highly recommend checking out The Right Swipe if you haven't. The next book is coming out next year, and I'm definitely going to be reading it because I am genuinely excited. The next one is one that I related to on a very personal level, which is why it made this list, and I think about it a lot. And that is the Bromance Book Club. In this, we are dealing with a baseball player and his wife who are starting to become estranged because they went into marriage with different expectations. One person was very spontaneous, and then all of a sudden they couldn't be because they did get pregnant very quick. And it's about Gavin, our guy, gets recruited by his baseball buddies to join a book club, and they're reading a historical romance. They read romance in this book club so that they can learn to woo and take care of their women better. Now, I know some people don't even like the concept of this novel, but this is a novel that worked really well for me. Because when she finds out about the books, because obviously that's going to be a plot point with this kind of a story, the way they handle all of that was realistic and good, and I really appreciated how that all went down. So the Bromance Book Club is definitely one of my favorite reads this year. I was kindly gifted the sequel by Melanie from over at Mel to the Any. She will be linked down below, so definitely go check her out. And I am so excited for it because there's a character in this novel who's not married yet, and he is the next book. And he was quirky enough that I'm really interested to see what Lyssa Kay Adams is going to do with his story, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. And last but not least on this list is going to probably be one of the biggest surprises to most of my watchers, and that is For His Pleasure by Shelley Bell. This is a BDSM smutty romance. And I never thought this would be my thing. I'm going to put that out there right now. But the way it is all done in this book is fantastic. So in this book, we follow a woman named Dreama. And Dreama has been in that BDSM lifestyle for a very long time. We meet her in the first book of the series. This is the third book. I read them out of order. So I read this one, then I went back and read 1 and 2. But this one was my favorite of the series. And Dreama has something very tragic happen to her earlier on in the series, and she has PTSD because of it, and she is a parole officer. And what's going on is, as the parole officer, she meets this man named Cash, who is one of her parolees, and she interacts with him before she knows who he is, and he's very sweet and very kind to her, and she has not been able to stand physical touch from another person since the accident. And so this is about Cash and Dreama coming together in a way through that BDSM lifestyle for her to deal with her traumas. And it is done in such an amazing way. I don't feel like Dreama is objectified at all, and it's fantastic. Dreama completely has control. And it's so well done. It's so intoxicating in a way. Like, the way the sex scenes are written in this book, you definitely feel everything along with Dreama or Cash, whoever's head that you're in. And it is something that more people need to be reading. It's definitely not anything I expected. When I just read the back of this, and I didn't know it was BDSM at all when the publisher said, hey, are you interested in this one? And so I went into this not knowing it was a BDSM novel. But I'm like, you know what? I'm still going to give this a try because the chemistry between the two characters was fantastic. And I don't regret it. Like I say, I've read the entire series now, and I own the entire series. So that says a lot because I will be reading these again. But this is the biggest surprise probably to me all year. And I wanted you guys to know about this book. It is something that needs to be read by more people. And I don't know how to talk about this anymore without feeling thoroughly embarrassed. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down now. So friends, those are 4 of my standout romances. Let me know in the comments down below what some of your favorite romances were. And if you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. Sorry for the awkwardness of the last book. I would love it if you would subscribe and click the little bell so you know when I post new videos. And as you guys know, a like and a comment makes my day. This is YouTube and you guys know what to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.